Now, our referee for this one is very experienced. He's from Belgium, Olivier Martial, the man who's officiated in the most important match on the snooker calendar, the World Championship final at the Crucible Theatre.
Welcome, Team Germany.
And what a moment this is for Simon Lichtenberg, a very inexperienced player. Suddenly, Mike Hallett thrown in very much at the deep end.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a great event, this, isn't it? You know, and we do have, I was saying to David Hendon yesterday, here's Liang Wenbo for the first player for China A. And they're a very strong team, China A, aren't they, Phil? You know, but it's a great format, and it's nice to have it back on the calendar, actually. We play a lot of tournaments during the year, different formats, but nice to be here again doing this.
Yes, for China, professional and national pride involved.
Got to look at the teams, of course, and this China A, Phil, well, you know, strong favourites, aren't they, really? Well, I say favourites, well, one of the favourites, you've got Scotland, you've got Wales, and the England team is strong as well, with Judd Trump and Barry Hawkins. But, of course, it's only two to come through the group.
Thank you. The first frame, China to bring.
Well, China with an unblemished record so far, because yesterday, in their opening group match, they whitewashed the Republic of Ireland 5-0, and that was no mean feat when you consider that playing for the Irish, Ken Doherty, 1997 world champion, and Fergal O'Brien, former British Open champion.
That was some result. That they kicked off their campaign in great style. Even Simon here, I mean, a lot of these lads, you know, some of the teams aren't as strong. You've got a strong one player and then not strong in the second. But I mean, what a great experience this is to be here and being in China, being Wuxi and playing in this event, especially for young men like this.
Yes, and one positive for him, single frame matches are a great leveller.
Mm. Look at the matchups and say, well, best of 9, bound to win that one, but only one frame, as you say, Phil. It can all turn around. I mean, look at Scotland yesterday. Lost 3-2 to Thailand. Won today, though.
Well, Liang was the lead-off man against the Irish yesterday. Made a 54 break on the way to beating Fergal O'Brien.
Well, it's never going to be easy. It wasn't that far away. So first blood to Germany then, in this opening frame of 5.
That red, though, was simple for Simon. Mind you, the whole process of being involved in this pressurised environment for someone with not a great amount of top-level experience, it's a real ordeal.
And he's not ideally on a colour here to get onto the next red. He might have to play the green. No good with the cannon.
Let me just quickly tell you what happened in Group D in the afternoon session here in Wuxi a little earlier. As Mike said, Scotland beat Cyprus, but only 3-2. Northern Ireland, they are top of Group D after a 3-2 win over India. And Thailand, they're also undefeated. They beat Israel 3-2. In Group C, England, Barry Hawkins and Judd Trump defeated Malta 4-1. Australia beat Pakistan 4-1. Iran, a team featuring a former and a current world amateur champion, they beat Switzerland 3-2. So in Group C, England looking very good with 9 wins out of a possible 10. Then Iran and Australia are joined second with 6 frames won. Malta fourth, Pakistan fifth, Switzerland bringing up the rear. And in Group D, Northern Ireland top the table with 7 frames, Thailand 6, Israel and Scotland 5 frames each. India 4, at the bottom of the group, Cyprus with 3 frames won. So that could be a really tight group when all is said and done.
Yeah, I think Scotland will need to get a march on in that group as well.
Foul. China 4.
Well, okay, the white's gone in, but it looks fairly safe. Got some action on the white here. Look at this. Well, sorry, I thought it was gone into the corner. Missed that. It's gone into the middle. Trying to pot the red.
While we're involved in this safety exchange, 3 tables simultaneously in operation here. Over on table 2 right now, it's Hong Kong against Belgium and the Republic of Ireland up against Egypt. We'll keep you informed as to how those matches progress.
Well, that was close. We just before we came on air, as you feel, discussing the prize money, weren't we? The prize fund, and there's a lot of money at stake for these boys. $200,000, which equates to 175,000 euros. I think we worked it out about £77,000 each for the winning team.
That's right. Whichever currency you work on, it's a hefty sum. And there's an extra incentive as well. The winning team, both of them, will receive an invitation to the Champion of Champions at Coventry in November. If not already qualified, of course.
Well, that was about the best he could do from there. I think Liang would just clip off this red to take the cue ball down the table. There's plenty of reds available if either player can get in.
Well, I think it's very good that Liang is not taking Lichtenberg lightly. That's always a good sign to me. Doesn't matter the quality or the experience of the opposition, especially in one-frame matches, you can't afford to take liberties.
We had 3 centuries yesterday, actually, during the day's play, but there was a lot of sort of 50s and 60s knocking about as well, you know, and a couple of 90s. I mean, Marco had 113, I think it was, and then he had a 94 in another frame. So it just shows you, you know, 60s, 70s will do in this sort of format, even a 50 and a 30.
Well, Lichtenberg has got away with that one, as you can see. Caught the red far too thick.
Yeah, it's going back to the centuries. It's actually 103 from Marco in the doubles frame they played. And John Higgins at the top of the tree at the moment with the 130 that he had in his opening match. Not sure what he's going to do here, especially with that red down the other end of the table. Well, That's quite clever because he's covered that other red with a blue as well, so Simon can't play that one, so it might just be a little bit of tip-tap in here. Possible plant. Some distance between them though.
One.
Nicely done. On the brown, down for the red in baulk.
Five.
Not ideal. I just wonder whether he might refuse the pot here. He's having a look at the angle, but can't guarantee to be on a colour. Just didn't hit the white hard enough from the brown. Well, is he going for this? Might be. Yep. Caught the green, but he's lost the cube.
6.
Well, at the end of the day, he's still at the table, so he can lay or play a good safety, if not a snooker.
Blue ball. Germany 6. Switching off.
English Open champion, of course, Liang Wenbo, won that title up in Manchester last October, but he won't defend there. Had the news last week that the event this season is going to be played at the Barnsley Metrodome, so it's going across the Pennines from Lancashire to Yorkshire.
Needs some cover here. He hasn't got it. You can see the one there is the pocket. Well, he took some time over that, studying whether the reds were going to hit each other and come off the angles, but didn't play it very well. Well, he's playing the more difficult red here for me. I thought he'd be playing the one nearest the pocket. Well played.
One.
That's unlucky. I think he's covered the blue.
He lost both of his singles frames yesterday in Germany's 4-1 defeat by Hong Kong, but he came close in the first frame of the match to defeating Marco Fu. I think Fu eventually snatching it with a green to black clearance.
Yeah, he missed. He got the last red. Phil was doing that match. Got the last red and missed the black off the spot, which would put it 28 the lead with 27 on. And he rattled the black. And although Marco didn't clear from there, I think it was a couple of shots later. It was like he was safe from green to black. Pinched it really. He had a great chance to kick off opening the first frame. Well, winning the first frame, I should say. Great experience, though, isn't it? You know, you're on the main table in front of the cameras and everything.
Rumble.
Nominated the brown here, so again he needs to try and cover this red over the right hand corner.
Germany 1.
Well, he hasn't done that. So, fairly easy chance here for Liang to get in.
1.
Well, I must say the bounce off the ball cushion seemed very springy.
Yeah, I think you can just see enough of the blue as well.
Blue ball. Six.
Well, that's very good because he was quite close to the red there and a chance of playing the push shot, but he hit it clean. Not quite finished the right side of the blue, but he's done well to get there.
Yes, I was just going to say, to get the cue ball as far as he did without any hint of a push, well cued.
Yeah, got the right side of the blue this time. Good recovery pot.
Eighty.
I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with this season, Liang. We've talked about his English Open win right at the tail end of last season, just a couple of months ago. Okay, he was beaten in the last 16 of the World Championship. On paper, looks nothing special. But that match against Ding
25.
in the second round was an absolute humdinger. Liang played brilliantly, even though he succumbed 13-12.
Yeah, he brought the best out of Ding Junhui, didn't he? Of course, they're not rivals today. They're partners, team members. Very much in the driving seat in this competition, really. They one of the favourites, as we've mentioned. Alongside places, people like England and Wales. And what about Wales, Phil? Mark Williams and Ryan Day. Ryan coming off the back of that great win in Riga. So he's on a high.
Yes, I think both players are on pretty good form for Wales, and they've got a really good team spirit. Genuinely friendly, those two.
32.
I was speaking to David yesterday, Phil, just talking about down the list in the top 16. I mean, obviously Mark's not here. Mark Selby, world champion, one but because he's broken his toe. But if he hadn't have done that, England could have put 3 teams in, to be honest. You've got China, who've got 2 teams because they're the hosts. But in the top 16, could have picked 3 teams out of that. There was Sean Mayfield, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ali Carter.
39.
Amazing, really. And the standard of the snooker, I know this is a team event, but the standard of snooker now, It's got into the stratosphere, the stuff that these guys are producing week in, week out. And obviously attributed to the amount of tournaments that's on the calendar. And it's great work from the backroom staff, including the likes of Barry Hearn, Jason Ferguson, who are spreading the gospel around the world, and hopefully we are too here in Eurosport. But there's plenty. These boys can't whinge and moan these days, Phil.
So many playing opportunities, so much prize money on offer. Yes, it's survival of the fittest, but that's what a professional sport is all about.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't fancy it, go and do something else. It's as simple as that.
Well, he's taken these nicely.
Yeah.
A quite simple pink for a half century.
Yeah, so I felt, and I'm not sure that the angle here, he's got a bit of an angle, that the left on one of the two might go into the left corner, but he looks a bit straight on this pink. Well, perhaps that doesn't pot. I'm just wondering if you can power this in and play the cannon. Get a cannon into those two reds, or might just run into the black, push the other red off the cushion. Just settle for the 6 points. Well, this one obviously goes.
And it's all he needs, so he can play conservatively.
Yeah, he could have done with this being a little bit straighter, actually, but I think he can play this at a pace to hide it if he misses it. It's frame ball. Well, this has been excellent early. Great visit. He needs a snooker. You need a couple more after this black going in. Could have done with that, actually.
53.
It's only one snooker.
Yes, all in all, I'm surprised he played it like that. Okay, he wanted to make the single visit, the century maybe, but had the black gone in, frame is absolutely safe and secure. Now there's just a grain of doubt.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If you got the opportunity, you've got to kill off the frame.
And indeed, the balls, as they stand, are nicely placed for snookers.
Well, he's left us. Well, Simon's got, well, I thought he got a bit lucky there. He's slightly hampered with the brown, but I still fancy laying to knock this in, and it should be first frame to China A. Well, the brown didn't help. He's still got to win this frame yet. It's only one snooker.
Yes, he broke all kinds of technical rules there. The head came up, the bridge hand moved.
As long as he didn't touch the brown, that was the main thing.
Now, I tell you what, if you can pot two blacks off the two reds, and then maybe get the snooker off the yellow in behind the brown.
Nine.
Well, I think he's heard you, Phil. That's his idea. Two blacks. And now try and tuck him behind one of the other colours. This frame, there might be a lot of snooker left in this frame, yeah. I mean, if that black had gone in from Liang Wenbo, it was all over. But we see it, and we say it time and time again, Phil, don't we?
Germany 16.
I mean, the daft thing here is that Liang could come off the side cushion and going off if he catches this about quarter ball. Or on the other one. Oh, imagine.
Yes, and with the in off, the ball's open. Lichtenberg could still pinch it.
Oh, that's not overly clever. I think once we get through these group phases and group matches, Phil, into the last 8, and that's when for me that's when the tournament will really start. Had some good snooker yesterday, actually. Well, again, that's frame ball, but I think he's missed it. Now, has he been lucky? He hasn't got the cover. Still one snooker required, of course. Refused the pot, trying to lay the snooker. Now Liang wouldn't have to go through all of this if he's not that black in. Let's put another 7 or 8 minutes on the frame, really. That's pretty good. No, Simon's got to be careful here, because if he comes off the cushion, he could, if he hits this yellow too thick, he could go on off here. That's the problem. Obviously, it's not difficult to hit, but it's all about the contact. Could play it dead weight. Just the table. Doesn't want to turn it over though. Gone with pace. Well, he's caught it well, but where will they finish? Well, if it passes the blue, it's frame over. It's tight, but I think that will go. Looks good to me. Oh, it's a bit wide. You know, did that move? Because I just wondered whether you could get onto that side, onto that top cushion there, Phil.
Well, I think it did move, because he missed the blue by a fraction.
Yeah.
And once he'd done that, you just assume the pot's going to drop in.
That's what I was thinking. I just wonder if that's moved a little bit to the left. The bonus with the snooker, of course. Oh, well, he's missed that by a mile, so it should be frame over now.
Foul. China 4.
Well, in some ways, Liang's got away with this frame a little bit. He missed the black early on, which would have really sealed it. And I don't think that attempted yellow was probably his fault. But again, I was with you, Phil. Once it got past the blue, I thought it was guaranteed to go in. Doesn't matter now. It's going to be the first frame to China 8. Well, they kicked off with a 5-0 yesterday. Can they do the same today? Ding Junhui up next in his first singles match today. He will be playing Lucas Kleckers.
China 5. Yeah. And the frame.
As Mike said, China A continuing their unblemished record in this tournament. Over the course of a frame or a match and a bit, they haven't lost a single frame. One of the early stories of the season by beating Neil Robertson at the recent Riga Masters in Latvia. Today, though, he's faced with another formidable task, taking on Ding Junhui. When Ding walked out,
22nd frame, Germany to break.
while we were on our commercial break, there was a real cheer, warm round of applause, because Ding isn't just a national hero, he's a local hero here in Wuxi. He's the lad from the Jiangsu province who's taken the world of snooker by storm.
Not the best break-off shot from Lucas there. It's given Ding an immediate chance to have a go at this red. I wonder whether Ding's seeing a plant here. These two reds to the right corner, he's playing it. He's going to scatter these everywhere. Oh, look at that. He's been a little bit unlucky because, or has he blocked the pocket for the black? He might have done. Well, that was very clever actually, playing that at that pace to come off the pack for the black, but he's been a little bit unlucky. It's blocked.
China 1.
Well, it's been an exceptional couple of months for Lucas Kleckers. He came through the qualifying school to earn his place on the main tour. To do that, he negotiated no less than 6 matches. But as I say, the highlight so far of the season has been that win over Neil Robertson in Riga. Last 64 it was. Okay, he fluked the black to make it 2-2, very lucky there, but made a lovely 83 break in the decider.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Well, so was that. I said at the time, Phil, I thought we found a new start. And I'd like to see him in another couple of years' time with a bit more experience under his belt. As we say, he hasn't quite got the scars yet, has he? The mental scars, they will come. But this lad can play. He's proved that already, and he looks very, very confident in this environment. Good signs. We know that over the years, feel that the game has been dominated from players from the Commonwealth, shall we say. But it would be nice to have a European star, especially in Germany, because snooker in Germany is massive.
Well, already it's a massive sport, spectator-wise. Wouldn't it be great to have a truly world-class player emanating from that particular part of the world?
Yeah. And of course, the popularity in Germany is a lot of it is attributed to our fellow Eurosport commentator Rolf Kalp. He's a star in his own right in Germany, and he's done massive amount of work and bringing the game to the fore in Germany. He really has. Great guy. Yes, very enthusiastic, isn't he?
Real legend, Rolf, and I think it's one of the great TV success stories that we get such good figures on Eurosport in Germany for snooker. They just love it out there.
13.
And for me, one of the great highlights of a very busy season now is the German Masters at the Tempodrome in Berlin.
Yeah, again, I was saying to David Hen yesterday, I'm trying to get one or two of my mates over to watch that this next coming year, and I think it's March actually, early March. I said, you must come over and experience the Tempodrome because it's a wonderful venue, wonderful atmosphere, and all the players love being there.
14.
Well, Lucas Kleckers would need to win a couple of qualifying matches to make it to Berlin. Wouldn't that be a story?
Yep. I'm sure there'll be a few, one or two words of encouragement from Rolf as well. It's just overdone that slightly. It's not too bad. But of course, Ding's safety wasn't one of the best. This is a really good chance here.
The 83 break in the deciding frame against Robertson was notable for just how composed Kleckers seemed to be on the surface. He was a little fortunate early in the break. He played a red to the right-hand middle as we're looking at the screen, which I still can't believe fell in. It caught so much of the left-hand jaw, but went in it did. And from there, he took his chance like a seasoned pro.
Yeah, and there's a couple of reds that he took on at the end of the break there, Phil, which he could have backed away from, but he didn't. He took them on, they went in, and he won the match. I just think this lad's got everything actually, but again, it's see how he progresses in the next couple of seasons. But it's all there. And this frame is all there as well, if you can keep this going. And another scalp to take a frame off the world number 4.
Well, he provided Germany's solitary success yesterday when they were beaten 4-1 by Hong Kong. Beat Oh Chi Wei in a real marathon frame. 45-minute affair it was. Potted pink and black to snatch the verdict. The way things are going, this one might be a little more comfortable. Well, he's still on the pink to the middle, but he didn't hit that well at all.
Yeah, a little tricky one now. I mean, if this is an individual match, best of 9s, he'll probably take in the pink on, but in this sort of format, he's got to think about his partner, team member, really. That's why he's looking for safety, I think.
Yellow ball. Germany 31.
Well, putting Ding under a little bit of pressure here. Yes, this is awkward. It's not straightforward. He tries to get down the left-hand side, he could hit something. Oh. Unbelievable. And well, if he takes on a colour, that's not easy either. Great cueing from there. Well, this also is whether he takes the pink or the black, also a big shot to take on. For me, play off the yellow, bring the yellow into play. He's got control of the table. Well, there again, Phil. I think if it had been an individual match, Ding might have taken the black on.
China 1.
But these, what we call one-frame shootouts, are totally different.
Yes, keeping things tight there. undoubtedly made sense. Wasn't guaranteed position if he potted the black. Obviously a big risk for not a certain reward. And of course now, by playing the yellow in that manner, he's got it in the open, which means if he does get a chance, all the more likely he's going to clear up.
Yes, he's testing the young man, isn't he, to see what he's got. That's what it's all about. Of course, Ding is favourite in this match, but again, over one frame, you never know.
Well, Clicker's passed a good test of cueing early in the frame. Here's another one to the same pocket.
Yes, and he's got the angle, I think, just to avoid the red near the cushion. Nope, came across this one. Well, it's a decent cue ball. He's got some distance between the reds and the white. Well, there's a test of Ding's cueing with this red to the left. You can also play it with topspin, but there's the red near the middle pocket that's the problem. Do you know, he might have just got away with that because he's blocked one red into the corner with the other one, and that red near the pink has blocked the one to the middle. Does that right and red go? Well, I think he's looking at the one near the pink. That goes to the centre, but this is tough. Well played. Oh, that's a little bit unlucky. Just clipping the blue there, but you can try and lay a snooker here.
Bramble. Germany 1.
Well done.
Yes, and killing two birds with one stone there, not just getting a really good snooker and putting Ding in deep trouble, but also having the presence of mind to chip the brown under the side cushion as well, or close to it, just in case Ding does get that opportunity to bite back.
Yeah, Ding will be coming off three cushions here. Try and lay on these two reds near the top cushion. Looks like it's a good angle.
Thank you.
Yep, well played. These referees are a nuisance, Phil, aren't they? Get in the way.
Well, I know you're only joking, but it certainly doesn't apply to Olivier Martil, who, in my opinion, is absolutely elite. You hardly know he's there, and that's always the sign of a good referee to me.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, one of the best. Nice man to boot as well.
Yes, not a full-time professional referee, Olivier. He works in a hospital in Belgium doing a really fine job. And talking of Belgium, I can tell you that Luca Brissell has won the first frame for Belgium against Hong Kong, overcoming Marco Fu. So Belgium 1, Hong Kong 0. The first frame of the Republic of Ireland and Egypt still in progress.
Yeah, at the moment, Lucas is playing a good frame here against the world number 4, and he's in control, 30 with a 30-point lead, and that brown could be important though at the end of the frame if Ding were to get in. Just keep things tight. I think, I don't know, has he got the snooker? Possibly, unless I think Ding can just see the right hand red. Yep.
Well, I can tell you, Egypt have won the first frame against the Republic of Ireland, so for Ireland, that's 6 frames played in the tournament, 6 frames lost. A couple of decades ago at the 1996 World Cup in Thailand, the Republic of Ireland, 3-man teams it was then, beat England in an epic semi-final and gave a really good account of themselves against Scotland in the final before being defeated. And that was when Scotland could rely on what they were calling at the time the Dream Team. Alan McManus, John Higgins, Stephen Hendry. But in this World Cup, so far at least, very different fortunes for Ireland.
Still plenty on here for Ding, of course, if he gets the opportunity. Tell you what, this is looking good. What about this one? Oh, nearly.
Just fractionally too narrow.
It would have been nice if he could have nestled in behind that green.
I'll tell you what is nice for Belgium. Jeff Jacobs has taken the second frame from Oh Chi Wei. So Belgium lead Hong Kong 2-0. Can I say Mike Jacobs played a cracker?
I wish he hadn't.
Yeah, cheesy.
Terrible. You're just sitting up all night and thinking of these, aren't you? Well, I wouldn't say Hong Kong's in a pickle just yet, but they could be if they lose the next one.
Now then.
Well, he's just got a little nudge on the blue there. I wonder if he's covered it. He has. Ding's been quite lucky there. Could have easily left that one on. I think Lucas here is looking at one to the left corner. Well, white could be close though. That's okay. Well, he found a good path back to baulk there. And he has a 30-point lead here, so it's Ding that's under the cosh a little bit. Especially if he decides to take anything on here. Well, that was a fine shot. Well, that's amazing. I don't think he played that, but he'll take it. Let's see what Hawkeye can see. Well, he can see that red on the left-hand side, and he might be forced into a pot here. There's not much alternative, really, as regards safety. Yep, I think he's going to have to take this on. I'm not sure whether he can see enough of it to try and guide the white down the left-hand side, and there's the black in the way as well. What's he going to do here? Well, we could see the other one. That's fair enough. But he's underhit it.
Well, the general scruffiness of the table now is very much in favour of Kleckers. 30-point advantage with the balls as they are. Useful. Ding needs this.
And I think the nature of the frame, where it's gone, the way it's gone, Phil, it's just gone scrappy, hasn't it? And of course then the players tend to lose the rhythm a little bit. Came right across that one.
Well, if you recall, Ding potted a really inventive plant, unlucky not to be on the black right at the start of the frame. He potted a good red also, but he's not really had a clear-cut scoring chance yet.
No, and obviously there was pressure on that one. Now, does he have the angle to drop in behind this red near the pink?
Six. Seven.
Could have done with a little bit more on the cue ball, but it's not bad, especially with the ball colours off the spots. So all he has to do is get the white at this end of the table for this lone red. He's played a pretty good frame here, Lucas, Phil, hasn't he? It's been solid. He's not taken any risks. He's had a couple of opportunities to take balls on red, i.e. reds, but he's refused them. Just been patient.
Well, clearly the great attribute that he's got, as he's shown by coming through 6 matches at Q School, he's got a good temperament. He showed that against Robertson, I thought, and he's showing it here.
It seems that he's got a good snooker brain. He's a good thinker, isn't he? Before he commits. No, he's not slow, not overly fast. He plays at a good tempo, allowing himself all the opportunity in the world to think about what he's doing.
And now he's moved 43 ahead, 51 on, so just needs one more ball to put the frame pretty much safe.
Well, hard match snooker.
One more red required.
Yeah, nicely done. Good touch. Well, all this young man has to do is just keep his discipline here, and it should be one apiece. And you never know, in the doubles, anything can happen.
Well, he's kept his patience pretty well in this frame, but it must be rather frustrating for Ding. It's been one of those frames, and it can happen to anyone against anyone, where you just can't seem to make an impression. And that's why we said right at the top of the show that one frame snooker is a great leveller.
Yeah, a few minutes ago when he took that straight red on, that's probably the only chance he's had for some time, isn't it? And Lucas keeping his discipline here.
And when you think in the early 70s, Mike, the professionals then, their great chance at television exposure was a one-frame tournament, the Pot Black.
Yeah, that's where it all started, wasn't it? And then, I mean, the rest is history, as we say. But I mean, this game of ours was made for colour TV, wasn't it? You know, once it went from black and white to colour, it was there. Got to be careful here. I wonder if you can make this into a plant. No. Still having to be patient. Good pace. Well, he was trying to sneak in behind the black there, but he's left one on. Left two on.
Yes, and whichever one the Kleckers elects to take, I'm sure it's going to be the outside red. This is frame ball.
And he can get onto the pink to the middle as well. So that was a massive slip up there from Ding Junhui. Oh dear, what an opportunity that was.
Just a little jabby, I think, indicative of the tension he was feeling.
One.
Now, if Ding can pot the pink here, the red down the side cushion, another colour, he can lay an absolutely humdinging snooker off the red in behind the black.
7.
Well, when he left those reds on, especially that right on one that Lucas took on, he must have thought the frame was over. Still has a chance. But this is no gimme. Well, it's still a bit of a stretch with a mini butt on. Well played. I can't tell you how good that is, because when you put that mini butt on, Phil, it just throws the cue slightly. You know, you have to practice with it on, actually, and it just, because obviously the cue is longer than the norm, and it becomes more difficult. Now, as you've already mentioned, pot the pink and lay the snooker. As you're thinking about the blue, I just wonder whether he's thinking about the cannon from the blue. The shot really is to pot the pink, lay the snooker. Well, I wonder whether he was thinking of leaving a double to the middle there with the option to play the snooker at the same time. He's gone too far to do that, and he's not in the ideal situation just to run in behind the black. I think he was looking to play the double on the red. Can't play it from there, he'll double kiss it. Oh, he's gone too far. Now has the brown come to his rescue? Well, that was what a great opportunity that was. Still enough on, of course, 29 in it, 35 on the table, but in behind the black would have been even better. I wonder whether Lucas might take this on where the colours are. He's got the insurance of the yellow and the brown, the black. It would be frame ball. I think it's... The only problem he's got here, if he rattles it, he might nudge the yellow off the cushion. Well, there again, showing good discipline. He's not one of these newbies, one of these new players, Philly, whether it's bish, bash, bosh, is it? You know, he thinks. He's a good thinker, actually, Lucas. He thinks about what he wants to do. Well, that was unlucky. He just caught the middle bump there. He's got the snooker, but he was trying to move the brown off the cushion. But he's got the second shot. Might have to bounce this into the cushion because the natural angle is where the middle pocket is. That's a good hit. Hang on. Oh, hello. Oh, well, after all that, he's fluked frame ball.
And do you remember I was saying about when he played Robertson in Latvia? He fluked the final black in frame 4 to draw level at 2-2. At the moment, luck's on his side.
Germany 1.
And still keeping things tight, sensibly. Knocking another ball closer to a cushion. Ding will be fully stretched here. 30 behind, 27 on, 1 snooker needed.
Yeah, good thinking from Lucas. Mature thinking for a young man. He's only 21 years of age. Good hit from Ding.
I'll tell you what, Mike, this could be quite a lengthy session because the first couple of frames have really dragged on. Play in operation now for 70 minutes.
Yep. Up on this table after this match, it's China B against Norway. Into the third frame on table 2. Belgium leading Hong Kong 2-0. Score's pretty much level in the third at the moment.
Yes, this frame is dragged on, but it's been interesting nevertheless, and now it's taken an even more interesting turn.
Well, what can you say? What a great shot that was from Ding Junhui. Ah, now he's just applied a little bit of pressure here. Just as well that Lucas has got 3 colours fairly safe. Wow, that's a great hit. It really is. Just wondering whether Ding can hold the white on this side cushion here and possibly yellow twice across. Gone the other way. Oh, he's nudged the green. Well, it's okay. I thought he might have nudged it safe. Still a chance to get him behind the green. Plenty of colours to get him behind, to be honest, with colours on the side cushions.
It's been a slow frame, yes, but it's not been a slow pace of play. I think the length of the frame has been dictated by the fact that the balls have run really awkwardly, especially for Ding.
Well, somehow he's trying to get him behind the green there and knock the black off the cushion, but I think he might have got the snooker anyway. Playing the swerve. It's got interesting. Ding still needing that one snooker, of course. Only the one, though. Well, he was trying to move something, but he might force Lucas into moving the pink here.
Well, I really have to applaud Ding's application. It's not as though China are desperately in need of this frame. They've played 6-1-6 so far, looking good at the top of this group, and yet he's clinging on for dear life.
Well, he's managed to avoid the pink. Yes, I won't disagree with anything you just said, Phil. Good attitude. Well, you could say he's moved the green into a slightly better position, but the yellow is on. He's had a quick look at the angle. What he doesn't want to do here is take the yellow on and miss it and then nudge the pink off the cushion. Wants to stay away from that if he can, because those three colours near the cushions are his insurance at the moment. Oh, well, doesn't matter, does it, when he can knock those in? It should be frame over. I'll tell you what, Lucas has played a very, very mature frame here against the world number 4. Excellent pot.
Germany 2.
Could have done with that one.
Yes, Ding 32 adrift, 25 on, so needs a couple of snookers. Not beyond the bounds of possibility.
3.
That won't help snooker himself. That's for the thin edge. Got to be careful here.
China 3.
Well, Couldn't really avoid that ding. He had to play a little swerve around the blue. There's no real damage done, but he still needs 2 snookers, 25 behind. Oh well, I don't think he played that. I think he played him behind the black. Now he's cut down his odds. Well, he's a million against now. Still trying though, still giving it 100%.
Yes, when you need one snooker with just pink and black on the table, it's the last chance saloon. When you need 2, you could say it's the no chance saloon.
Well, he'll just dolly this over the corner, should do. If it goes in, that's a bonus. Frame over. It's not far away, you know. Oh, will it drop? Will it drop? Well, he's got no chance of keeping this out. None whatsoever. Yeah.
Germany.
Well, we've heard this phrase in many other sporting arenas, one in particular. I'm going to say it now. Germany have equalised. China A and Germany
Please.
are locked together at 1 frame each. And Ding stays out there for the team. It's day 2, the second match for both of these teams. China A against Germany. And in this doubles match, it's Simon Lichtenberg and Lucas Kleckers up against
First frame.
Deng
China
Junhui and Liang Wenbo. So here at the Wuxi City Sports Park Stadium, the venue for this tournament. Honours even so far.
Yes, as I mentioned, Lucas played a really mature frame there. That should give the Team Germany a bit of a lift. Well, can they capture this frame as well? Simon here contemplating this red to the right corner. He would be on the black, but of course he might leave a red on as well if he misses it. It's one of those. Yep, think he's having a go. Unlucky.
It would be ridiculous to say that China A are on the back foot or anything like that, but I think the loss of the previous frame might have acted as a wake-up call, just reminding them that in this format anything is possible. Anyone can beat anyone. We've just had the World Cup of Pool, which was played at York Hall, famous boxing venue in Bethnal Green in East London. It was won by Austria, Mario He, and the fine player Albin Auschen. Now the difference in that tournament to this, it's all doubles, but they play Scotch doubles, which is alternate shots. Here the players get alternate visits. Now then.
That was a tough one to take on there for Liang Wenbo. In fact, they did play the last World Cup. It was alternate shots, wasn't it? But it took an age to finish the frame, Phil, and it got a bit bitty because there's more balls on the table as well as a card's pool. So they went back to the original format.
Yeah, I think this is the format that's played in the vast majority of occasions when doubles is on the equation, whether it's amateur or professional. Of course, on the Pro Tour we used to have a World Doubles Championship, and my co-commentator is too modest to tell you, but he and Stephen Hendry won it.
A couple of times. As you said, modest, Phil. Yes, I had the pleasure of probably playing with the best players ever picked up a cue.
Well, I think it's fair to say in the doubles format, Ewan Hendry and Tony Mio and Steve Davis were the two most successful pairings ever.
Yeah. When I got the call from Steve, and I said to him, well, I'll think about it. When I come, I'll get back to you. Not.
In years gone by, there's been some unlikely pairings in that tournament, but nothing would ever beat the chalk and cheese of Eddie Charlton playing with Alex Higgins. Now that's superseded chalk and cheese.
Yeah, well, I remember when the great Alex Higgins played with Jimmy White, and they came out in those Baco foil waistcoats. The heat was turned up. Cued that well. In fact, he's cued it too well. I'll still be taking this on. The pink having to go behind the pack.
As Olivier Martial gets it absolutely correct, I can tell you that Ireland just about scrambled home in the second frame against Egypt. So they are 1-1 in that contest.
15.
Overcut it.
Germany 15.
I think he might have got away with that. Yeah, Hawkeye shows us that he has. It was a bit of a debacle yesterday, actually, in this format, with Australia and Malta, Phil, wasn't there? Where I think did a frame go to a respotted black and somebody played out of turn and defaulted the frame?
Yeah, first foul, obviously, on a respotted black, loses the frame, and if you play out of turn, it's a foul shot. And the unlucky player to do so was Neil Robertson.
Well, we could be heading for a re-rack here, especially with those two reds at the end of the table. And it's not touching, so there'll be a bit of tip-tapping going on here. This always can happen when you get reds up into the bulk area.
Well, it's 9 o'clock local time here. Now remember, after this, another 7 frames to be played. Could be a late finish. Middle of summer here, of course. It's been very warm today. Temperatures in the high 80s. Humidity in the high 70s. Really sticky. Thunderstorms, in fact, in the forecast all week. And yet, despite that, I think conditions are really good.
Well, I think we've had the odd big bounce on off one of the cushions, but over these 2 days, Phil, I haven't seen any really horrendous kicks as yet. I hope we haven't put the muckers on it. But as you say, the table's playing beautifully.
Humidity can be a real problem. I remember a world ranking event, the Asian Classic in Thailand in the mid-90s. It was played at a lovely hotel right close to the Chao Phraya River, and with the fact it was the rainy season, plus the river as well in close proximity, the tables were like sludge.
Yeah, it can happen. Really weird story that I had there when I got to, I think it was playing in Hong Kong actually, somewhere in China. It could have been Hong Kong. I took the cue out of the case and it warped. And I couldn't believe it. I got back into the UK and it gone back again. Amazing.
And of course, couple of years ago, we had the incident in China when Judd Trump opened up his cue case at the table to discover that his tip was not what it should be.
No, what he'd done is put the extension in the case the wrong way around, and of course with the threads, the thread had threaded the tip. It's as simple as that. He'd put the cue away after practicing the night before, got out, and that was it. And to replace the tip. In fact, I think he'd already won a match in the tournament. I think it was his second match, and the way he played in the first match, I thought he was going to win the tournament, but when he had to put the new tip on, that was it. I think he got beat in the second match.
Yes, tips are very fragile things. We were at the Hexagon Theatre in Reading, I remember, for one event, and Mick Price from Nuneaton, famous for sitting in his chair when Ronnie O'Sullivan made the 5-minute and 20-second 147 break. He walked from his hotel to the venue in a rainstorm. Water seeped into his case, went on his tip, made it far too mushy to play with, beaten 5-0.
Just too wide. Well, let's not forget, during the World Championship as well, which is unusual, both Mark Selby and John Higgins replaced their tips at the latter stages of the World Championship. Amazing, really. Yeah, once you get a good tip on the cue, you want it to last forever. But they don't, especially with the amount of snooker these boys are playing these days, and including practice. I think a player would put a tip on now, what, 3 or 4 times in a season? Something like that. Meanwhile, one mistake here from any player could be costly.
Well, on paper you thought this might be a walk in the park for China. Still could be, but right now they are really being forced to battle.
As I mentioned already, a very mature frame from Lucas Kleckers in the second frame. He really got dinged to think about what was going on.
It's touching ball. This one. Okay.
Touching ball called. It really is tense out there. Tense on the other table as well. Luca Brissell contemplating a pink from distance to give Belgium a 3-0 lead over Hong Kong. cut it to the middle pocket, and it's in. Belgium 3, Hong Kong 0. So Belgium have won the match, but of course it's all about frames won, not matches won, so they've got to press on.
Yes, they've just completed their doubles, of course. They've got the reverse singles to come. Every frame counts.
Now, I just told you about Belgium's latest little bit of glory, and this is how it was achieved. Already 6 points ahead.
Yeah.
Blue to middle, not ideal position. This left a smelly one, Mike.
Yeah, he just needed the pink, didn't he? He took a little bit of time over this, whether to take this pink to the right corner or just try and cut it back into the middle. As you say, Phil, not an easy one. Anywhere but there, really, with the cue ball. But, you know, he only needs the pink, and they've been mentioned already. He wasn't quite sure what to do with it.
And remember, Luca Brissell, Jeff Jacobs, the Belgian amateur champion, they started off really well yesterday with a 4-1 win over Egypt, so always going well.
Yep, dark horses. He still needed this pink though, which he truly got.
On the front.
And so Hong Kong, who beat Germany 4-1 yesterday, experiencing wildly contrasting fortunes 24 hours later.
It's been some time in this frame though, since the pot was made. Even to the point of having a chance of potting one. Well, Ding being made to think again. Well, both of them they are, of course. I thought there was, look at this. It's over a minute shot time, but I think it must have been, it's got to be a good 10 or 15 minutes since the last ball was potted.
Well, he's displaying for me the patience of Job, is Ding, and yet he just can't seem to get to the table to do what he wants to do most, which is flow in pot balls.
Saw that in the last frame, didn't we? Now, what's he thinking here? Over a minute and a half now coming up. Well, that's clever. You're just checking that he wasn't leaving a 3-ball plant there. He might have left a pot on though, to this left corner. Well, he's tempting the young man there. That looks set, but he could push that red to the side cushion. I think Ding has covered the one beyond the pink spot. So, still this safety battle goes on. Who's going to make the first mistake? Well, I suppose a lot at home we were thinking, well, why isn't he not taking that plant on? It looks set, but so often you squeeze the third red over. Looking at the other one, but I don't think he's playing the pod. I think he's just putting the white to the top cushion. Oh, he's overhit that slightly. Has he left one to the middle for Liang Wenbo? Could have done. If he got that white tight to the cushion, that would have been great. That really would have been trouble.
Don't know what it is about doubles, but it always seems to foster this kind of frame, doesn't it? Slow frames in doubles are far more prevalent than in singles.
Patience is a virtue. Well, that's certainly opened things up. Now then, a little tempted to the middle here for Lucas, but fraught with danger. And he could even play one off the other.
Well, if he takes it on, it's the very definition of risk-reward. Bound to be in with a really good scoring opportunity if the red goes in. If he misses, bound to be perhaps on the receiving end of a sizable contribution from the other side.
Yeah, I think he's looking to put the white to the top cushion here, Phil. He might not even think about the pot. I mean, he could play the one nearest the blue into the corner pocket, green pocket, and still play with safety in mind. Well, now then, here we go. Let's see what he's going to play. I think he's going for this. I think he's going for the middle. All or nothing. Oh, he's got a kick. And he got a kick as well. That didn't help. So all of that patience then has been rewarded to China A.
But now, having been involved in so much safety at the start of this frame, and indeed for the vast majority of the previous frame, Deng has to try and find his scoring rhythm, and that's easier said than done.
And at last, a red potted.
Well, there's no developing work to be done. All the reds in the open. An embarrassment of riches, really. Well, how about this from Luca Brissell? A rapid-fire century break. The Belgians absolutely buzzing today. They're going to take a 4-0 lead over Hong Kong. And if Jeff Jacobs can win the last singles, that would be an entirely unexpected whitewash.
Certainly would be. And of course, let's not forget they've been rewarded as well with the announcement this week, Phil, of the European Masters will be in Belgium. But what a performance from the Belgians here.
Yes, they play Germany tomorrow, do the Belgians, on a high, regardless of what happens in frame number 5 of that match. And so if Belgium do win 5-0, China will need to win every single frame left in this match to be tied at the top of the table. If not, they'll be in second place.
18.
Well, that's not good. He caught the knuckle of the pocket there, but he's managed to land on this one near the yellow pocket. He played on the one that he's nearest to the middle pocket.
As Ding walks around the table looking for his extension, I can tell you about a really good doubles performance from Egypt over on table 3. They've regained the lead. They're up 2-1 against the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, Ding's got to be careful here. He's just got to avoid those reds that he's near to try and get onto a colour. Doesn't want to sort of stun into them and finish nowhere. Well, he didn't play it there, but he's got the blue. The hand on the table.
I think this qualifies though, Mike, as a pressure shot, because he knows if he gets it he should win the frame. If he misses it, maybe Germany will steal in.
Yep, indeed. Should get this though. Doesn't miss many of these. What was I saying? What was I saying?
24.
What a surprise that is.
Yeah, just stretching over slightly. The alignment wasn't ideal, and maybe that's why he missed it.
Well, you called it, Phil.
Without being too dramatic, this is perhaps one of the most important and certainly the highest profile visit that Simon Lichtenberg has ever had on a snooker table.
And the thing is as well, you know, things can happen within the group, Phil. We know there's only 2 to qualify, you know, and Hong Kong, okay, they're not doing well in the next match, but what do you think about Belgium, what they're doing? All of a sudden they could sort of sneak in on second place, couldn't they?
Well, what's happening on all 3 tables at the moment makes this group a lot tighter
8
than you might have thought, although that's a little heavy-handed.
No, he's just put himself under a little bit of pressure now with this one. Yeah. A shake of the head, he knew that should have been better. Yeah, you know, you look at the tables, don't you? You just think, okay, you think that they should be top, they should come second, but who knows what's going to happen? Drop this in, perhaps, with the red down the table. I think it's wide. Yes, it looked wide.
Germany 8.
What a chance that was for Germany there, all because of the poor positional shot from red to black. Well, Liang here can take on the red in the middle of the table, come down for the black. Won't, well, he shouldn't really leave anything on. Great pot. The black was guaranteed. All he had to do was knock the red in. Still needs a good one here, though, to get onto the next red. He needs to be just beyond the baulk line if he can get there.
The ability to pot that borderline shot, that 50-50 big ball in a frame, is what makes such a difference in so many matches.
Well, you see all the greats down the years have done it, Phil, haven't they? Robertson, one of the best. Mark Williams was a great, still is a single ball potter to get in. I mean, even Stephen Henge, he built his game around that first pot. And so often when it went in, it was frame over. I know all about that. This could go wrong though. He's got to play a good positional shot here.
Black ball.
Well, I think he might have just blocked the pocket there
8.
for one red anyway. I think the one furthest away from us goes.
You have to say, over the last frame and a half, ding singles and now this, the ball's not exactly helping out China, are they?
No. Well, he can still recover the situation here though and come down for pink or black. Well played. Bang in the middle. Didn't touch the sides and slow down a little. Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect to go back up for the reds.
A break of 9, which has already featured 2 crackerjack reds, the opener and then that one.
Yeah, and there's no, I mean, normally you'd be trying to take that red off, more off the side cushion, but he hits that fullish, he'll snooker himself on the red. I don't think he should go anywhere near this one. He should go around it. He's bound to be under the 2 reds. Just leave that one alone for the time being. Well, he's been really lucky there if he's landed on this red, because for me that wasn't the correct shot to play the can. He was asking for trouble there, but he's been lucky. He's landed on it.
And luck could be a factor here, especially if he's dropped on the brown, because he certainly didn't play it like that.
Yellow ball.
Yes, he's nominated yellow here to the middle. Well played. Yeah, nice recovery. Still got, well, I'd say 2 awkward reds. In fact, these last 2 reds are the right side of the table for him, being a left-hander.
90.
So if you can get him behind both of them, it won't be too bad. He's got a 20-point lead, or China A have a 20-point lead. But he's working hard for these. I think he intended to be on the brown to the middle. He's got the green though. That's looks a better angle. I think he's taking this to the centre, sunning over that red. Well played. I'll tell you what, there's some pots in this break so far. And that's not ideal either on this red.
He's
got a 24-point lead. So he's still going to need the red on the left-hand side, whatever colour he gets onto. Well, he might rattle this at pace. Well played. It's not getting any easier. Still needs the red. Will he play the pot on the black, or will he lay the snooker? Tell you what, he's working really hard for these, Phil.
I was just thinking exactly the same thing. You can't tell the value of a break from its purely numerical value. Sometimes a 30 or a 40 break can be magical, and this one has been so hard working.
Well, team thinking again that I don't know if he's going to play the pot here. Well, that's terrific. But what's he going to do with this red? 32 the lead, 35 left. There we go.
The annoying thing for China A, they would love to see a couple of colours safe. It would take some of the pressure off this. But all of the balls are there. OK, the blue isn't on its spot, but it's certainly available.
I think that's why he had a quick look at the brown, didn't he? I thought he might be contemplating putting the brown to the side cushion and laying the snooker, but he chose to take the black on. But he still has a problem here. Knowing Liang, he might just take this on. No, can't believe I said that. I'll tell you what, he's played one.
China,
That's pretty good,
31.
actually. Well, that was one of the best 31s I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Tell you what, this is a bit tidy as well. Not quite snooker, but it's pretty good. Now Ding can play cushion first here, what we call a little kicker. But he's got to be careful that the red doesn't catch the brown on the way back. Got away with that. Okay, it's still on, but could have been easier than this. I tell you what, Phil, this has been a hard-fought match, hasn't it?
Well, say China win this frame and then make a couple of big breaks to win the match 4-1. You look back on this and think, oh, it was stroll in the park. Not so.
Well, that's it. So often you see the frame scores and that in matches, and players won 5-0, but there's been 2 respotted blacks and two frames won on the colours. But well, this has been left here. Chance end for China. Yeah, well played. Depends where the white finishes. Needs a cannon. Ooh, could have done with catching the blue there. He's nowhere. Well, he's just going to lay the snooker, rolling to just roll up to the black.
Well, there's no dispute that Liang has been the main man in the partnership in this doubles.
And of course, I was forgetting, Phil, that red was frame ball.
China 1.
Well, he should have done better with that. He should have pushed the black to the side cushion. They should have done enough in this frame. 2 snookers needed by Germany. Good hit. Oh, it's frame over now.
Two. 5.
Well, a mobile phone going off in the crowd, but it's too late to affect the outcome.
9. China 9. And the frame.
Well, the cornerstone of China's success there, a tremendous 31 break from Liang Wenbo when it really mattered. And so China A, a city in the Jiangsu province in the People's Republic of China. It's the host city of the 2017 World Cup of Snooker. Obviously one of the favourites, given home base advantage. China A, Liang Wenbo and Ding Junhui. They lead Germany 2-1 in this match. All 5 frames will be played.
Thank you.
Next
Frame
up, it's
4.
the first reverse singles.
Germany to break.
Lucas Kleckers, who has a win over Ding under his belt, taking on Liang Wenbo. Just to repeat, it's not matches won that count in the group, it's frames won overall. And so China will be looking to win 4-1 in this after yesterday's 5-0 whitewash of the Republic of Ireland. And with 9 frame wins out of a possible 10, they would be in a very powerful position. But as we've seen, Lucas Kleckers is not to be taken lightly. Tomorrow afternoon in Europe, tomorrow night here in China, Liang and Ding will face Egypt. And if all goes well, by the end of that match, they'll have 1 foot in the quarterfinals. But lose the next couple of frames here, and all bets are off. I can tell you, by the way, that Hong Kong have averted the whitewash against Belgium. The reason for that, Marco Fu won the final singles match against Jeff Jacobs. So Belgium win 4-1, as they did yesterday against Egypt. As it stands right now, Belgium on top of the Group B table. And one of the latest score, it's just about to go Republic of Ireland 2, Egypt 2. On 2 occasions, Egypt led by the odd frame. On both occasions, the Irish have drawn level.
Touching ball.
Well, Mike, the fans here haven't seen a great amount of fireworks from their beloved Chinese players so far this afternoon. But I tell you what, they've seen an awful lot of determination. It just underscores how much the Chinese players want to win here.
Yeah, absolutely. The desire is there, isn't it? And these two young lads from Germany certainly give them a good battle. Hang on though, that white could be close, ball in hand. Yeah, the Germans have certainly been very much part of this match. He's known as the Chinese cracker, isn't he? Liang Wenbo. Firecracker.
Well, he's great to watch, a real individual, a real character, but I think his behaviour is being tempered here because he's in the same team as Ding.
As I mentioned, hang on a minute. As I mentioned to David Hendon, he said, "They feel there's certain reds or pots are not being taken on, are they? Well, there would be normally in an individual match, because obviously this is a team game."
Yes, and I think winning this tournament would mean an awful lot to every single player involved. It would be a dream for some.
Well, as it was last year, wasn't it, for Bing Tao, and what was his partner again? I've forgotten.
Zhou Yulong, yeah.
Yeah, what a great victory that was for them too. Defending champions, of course, this year, but in fact they're up later against Norway on this table once this finishes.
And I think what I'm going to say applies to both sides, China A and China B. When you're competing on home soil, the pride level just soars a little bit higher than it might do for visiting nations.
Well, he's the man in the middle. He's grown a beard since he started this match. Well, to be honest, I think that's the first real risky pot that any of these players have taken on.
Now, had Simon Lichtenberg been playing behind, maybe I could have understood that because he's inexperienced, nervous. But with Kleckers coming to the table, and with what he's achieved in the last month or so, ill-advised.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. That 83 knocked in against Neil Robertson in the Riga Masters. I'm sorry, Neil, for keep mentioning it, but it was a very, very mature break. Some of the same here would be nice. That would set up the match for the final frame.
8. Nine.
Q School graduate, came through in early May, a week or so after Mark Selby was crowned as world champion. The new season began with the Q School at Preston Guildhall, and Kleckers negotiated 6 matches to get his card, beating in the final match Martin O'Donnell. Oh, but there's a little movement of the rest head there.
Germany 14.
Looking to get on the back red here. Well, this is going to be a big shot if he takes this on. He's going to be clattered into reds. Here we go. Great pot. Nicely done. They'd have been unlucky to see the white go there. Don't think he'll take the black on, and there's a possibility of the pink with the red down the table. But even so, Phil, tight off the side cushion, not easy.
Yes, after potting a red like that, he deserved more than he's got. A lot more. Never ducked a challenge, though, as Liang. I agree with you, Mike. I think a lot of players would refuse the black, but the way he's looking, is he possibly tempted by it? It really is a big ball to take on.
I think pink is favourite, really. More the pocket, and he could hit the brown and stay on the red. But this has to go in, of course. Missed it. Yep, if he'd have got the pot, he'd have caught the brown.
China 5.
Well, now then. What can Germany do here?
And that just illustrates the pressure these guys are under, because there's no doubt Liang snatched on that one. The shoulder went into the shot.
There was a lot of body movement, wasn't there? And what can Lucas do here? What a chance this is. Too hard. He's overhit it. Oh, he's been a little bit lucky there with the cannon. That will do. The reason I said that, Phil, because so often players play that with a touch of side. I thought he was going to come into the back of the pack there, but he still has the chance. And I know they got beat 4-1 yesterday in Hong Kong, but if somehow they can manufacture a win here against one of the favourites, it puts them right back in the mix.
It does indeed, but there's no doubt in my mind that Kleckers is by far the more dangerous of the two players here.
9.
And he's also by far the more confident of the two players.
Well, his first year on the season, on the main tour, and he looks like he's been around for some time. And I suppose it helps as well, Phil, that he's been probably playing continually for the last couple of months, hasn't he? But what between the Q School and qualifiers for Riga and China.
Yes, I mentioned his Q School exploits a little earlier in the frame. And to get his card, actually, he overcame a couple of Chinese players. Gang Minqi, 4-2, and in the penultimate round, Ma Tingpeng. This, though, is a different league. Well, that was in the relative anonymity of the cubicles, one man and a dog watching. Here the world's watching.
$22. $23.
Well, Belgium will be watching this with interest. If Germany can win this frame, it means that at the very least, Belgium will be tied at the top of Group B overnight. They could possibly lead outright.
$36.
Well, the more I see of Lucas Kleckers, the more I'm encouraged. Because he's one of those players, Mike, if he were to break through, it wouldn't just be good for him, it would be fantastic for the game as a whole.
Yeah. Especially the audiences that we have in Germany as well. But I think this kid's got it all. I really do. He's got the cue action, he's got the temperament, he thinks well. Like I said, 2 years down the road, he could be a bit of a star, this lad. He's cool, isn't he? You know, he's not flustered. Takes his time, works it all out, and then commits. No, that's gone wrong though. He's only 21 years of age, he's got plenty of time on his hands.
Yes, I've seen players with more obvious natural ability than him who fade under the lights, can't do it when the pressure's on, but he seems to be, as you say, a really cool customer.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable in this environment. No, I don't think this has been called a touching ball. I think he's got to clip this.
Germany,
Pretty good.
44.
Hasn't quite blocked off the left-hand side there. Liang can play the red nearest the pink.
Well, his mind might have been made up for him. No. Remaining circumspect. Can't blame him. 53 ahead. 67 on. Why take an unnecessary risk?
Yep. Well, he's saying to Liang, you're going to have to win this frame. I'm not going to give it to you.
Better news for the Republic of Ireland after yesterday's 5-0 whitewash by Liang and Ding, i.e. China A, today. After some anxious moments, one has to say. Ireland have beaten Egypt 3-2, so their hopes of making it into the quarter-finals have been reignited. I think, though, they would have wanted to win more than 3 frames out of 5 against the Egyptians.
Yeah, I think so. But a win is a win at the moment, isn't it, for them? You know, like I say, it's not quite put them in the mix, but they're still there. That was a surprise yesterday, getting beat by China A 5-0. You know, with a former world champion and obviously a former British Open champion.
Yes, Ireland play Hong Kong tomorrow, and you have to think whoever loses that match will be skating on very thin ice.
Goes to have a go. Oh, he's covered it. He's been lucky.
Well, I think Liang was working on the principle that had the red gone in, suddenly everything would have been there for him. The potential to snatch the frame away. But a fraction here has made a world of difference.
Do you know, he might be able to get this. It's obviously tight, but now seeing that camera angle, he could possibly pot this. Otherwise, he'll be playing something else, of course. Well, it's plain ball striking, so he's not trying to kick it in. Well, there you go. From the overhead camera, I thought he covered it.
Well, the only surprise there was the hesitation. It was as though he wasn't quite sure whether he could get through or not, and in the end it was plain sailing. As indeed should the frame be plain sailing from here. .56 in front, 59 on, so the simplest of frame balls coming up.
Yeah, and that's going to put a little bit of pressure on Ding Junhui as well in the final frame, Phil, isn't it? You know, I mean, he's playing Simon. I know he's inexperienced, he's an amateur, and we know Ding should win, but you never know in this format. But Lucas here has played a really solid frame.
Yes, and his stock continues to rise.
11.
As a rookie professional, already has a couple of notable achievements now.
12.
Well, he's won both of his singles matches. Beat Ding Junhui earlier on. And now he's beaten Liang Wenbo. Well, he chose to take on that red to the corner.
Germany 19.
Okay, it's only one frame, but to beat Liang and Ding in both of your singles, as Mike said, that really is a fine achievement for anyone, let alone someone of Kleckers's limited professional experience. Look at Simon Lichtenberg, not a name that trips off the tongue or indeed is well known in the world of snooker. Far from it. But, you know, beating Ding over a frame, stranger things have happened. If Germany can win this match, that would be an extraordinary result. And I think it would underline the fact that not just in Germany but in continental Europe, the game is getting a deeper and deeper foothold, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, you'd think with a name like that, it'd be probably a professional yodeler or something like that, wouldn't you? But hey, this Ding's under pressure here. There's no doubt about that.
So Ding needs to win the frame to give China a share of the lead in Group B overnight. An overwhelming favourite, but in one frame snooker, there's no such thing as a certainty.
50-50 chance here. Great opening red.
One.
Just checking to see if this red goes past the black. Good pot that. Perfectly on the blue. Well, this young man has just seen what Lucas has done. He's a team partner, and he said, well, I'll have some of the same then, thank you very much. And let's be honest, it would be an upset if Germany wins here. It would be a big upset, really. The likes of Ding Junhui and Liang Wenbo, who are one of the clear favourites to win this tournament.
Six.
They've been very patient, these two young lads, and can they get the reward?
Seven.
Well, he could have done with being high on this black, just to nudge it away from the spot, and there's still another red that he can play on. Yeah, you can see that it doesn't go, so if it had been sort of 2 inches to the right, that would have been perfect.
$14.
Just the wrong angle on this red. I don't know whether they can sort of force the cue ball through the reds for the black. It's a little bit difficult to get back for the blue as well. There's the red's in the way that he could collide into. Just wanted to be a fraction higher on this one. Now you could play this with a lot of topspin, try and get through for the black. Wow, look at that. Not interested. Well, that's fascinating, really.
Germany 14.
They know that they have a chance to win this match. Nice nudge there off the brown. And to be honest, I mean, Ding Junhui, one of our stars, of course, of the Green Bays, hasn't been able to, or hasn't been let to shine in this match. When he played Lucas Kleckers early on today, he was shut out, really. And when he did have the chance, it was a tough pot to take on. Now then, has he found a plant here? Because again, he's going to scatter these to the left corner. Oh, there we go. Now, he did that in his match against Lucas, and he didn't land on the black, and he's done exactly the same thing. He's been really unlucky. He's got a tough pink to the middle, though. Started his singles frame against Lucas with exactly the same thing, a plant into the right corner. He's playing the blue. played, and he's found the gap between the green and the brown. Where's this white going to finish? That will do. He's turned it over. You can drop this in for the black.
Okay. Seven. $14.
Now this is where Ding Junhui likes to be, amongst the black spot.
$22.
A more violent bounce than Ding anticipated. Horrible cueing this. Oh, really well done. Right into the heart of the pocket. Just thinking back, you know, 2 years to when the World Cup was last held, at this very venue, in fact. China A with Ding involved, when all 5 of their matches in the group phase played 25 frames, won 21 of them. And Ding needs to win this frame to keep their unbeaten group record intact 2 years on.
$30. $37. $38.
In Group A, I can tell you that Wales have taken the first frame against Malaysia.
$43. $44.
And the other thing I'm thinking about, Mike, is Ding at the table, one of the finest break builders you could ever wish to see. Could he be heading for what would be the 5th century of the tournament already? And given the format, that's a very high number.
$59. $60. 65.
Well, 51 the lead, this blue 52 the lead. In fact, and that's why the applause from the audience. They've done their maths. So this is a super break here from Ding Junhui.
71.
What a pity, but he should have done enough.
China 71.
Well, young Mr. Lichtenberg comes back to the table, but really it's a forlorn hope. China's A-team not had things their own way this afternoon, far from it. Lucas Kleckers winning both of his singles. Admirable effort that. But surely now the win is going to go to China, and that means they've won 8 frames out of 10 and very much on course, Mike, for their expected place in the quarterfinals here on Saturday.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they've been really tested today, haven't they, by these two young lads. Really have. It's been a good match. There's been prolonged frames, but interesting as well. It's all over now.
Indeed it is. Simon Lichtenberg concedes. Ding Junhui supplies the decisive frame. Confirmation. China A have beaten Germany by 3 frames to 2.
Quietly, please. Still 2 matches.
So, China generally pleased with the outcome. That gentleman delighted to get Ding's autograph, and I can tell you that